everyone's in a super good mental space this year. I feel like everyone's got a good friend to sit with at lunch. Everyone's got someone to talk to. And I feel like outside of the rink, that's super, super important. But going into more me and Ethan's relationship, I feel like especially the car rides home, even after like a bad game or even a good game. I remember the first game he scored on the road. I remember sitting in the truck and just going crazy. We were blasting music. I told Dad we were going to go get ice cream. And it was super awesome to just have him in the car and just know like, hey, we're living in the same household. We're sleeping under the same roof. Like that's someone to be proud of.
Hey everybody, this is Rodney Valinga with the West Ottawa High School Athletic Program, and you're listening to the 29-1 podcast. 29 sports, one team. The show that brings you into the lives of student athletes, coaches, and other faces in the Panther sports community, bringing you the stories you might otherwise never hear. Join myself and Athletic Director Bill Kennedy as we dive in with you to get to know each other a little bit better. Five sets of brothers, all on one team. From the head coaches all the way down through the entire roster, Panther hockey is a brotherhood.
Today, we are joined by Panther hockey coach Tom Carey, senior Tyler Noblett, and junior Krue Anderson. Fresh off a first-round win in the OK Conference Tournament, the boys join us to talk about the season thus far and look ahead to a big rivalry game against Grand Haven.
Whether it's Jimmy John's and a bag of chips or spending time in the lab perfecting their shots, these guys do it together.
Coach Tom Carey, senior Tyler Noblett, and junior Krue Anderson, up next on the 29-1 podcast. Let's get it.
If you've been to a West Ottawa varsity home game, that's the sound that's familiar to you. Senior assistant captain Charlie Moncoon ripping out the Star Spangled Banner on electric guitar. On the ice, on skates, he's got his amp near the home bench. It's a great way to get a game started, and even better way to start off this podcast. Well, welcome to another episode of the 29-1 podcast. I'm your host, Rodney Valinga. I'm just a West Ottawa parent, like many of you listening, and I'm here with former Francis Scott Key High School outside linebacker, William Lee Kennedy IV, correct?
That's right.
Also known as Athletic Director Bill Kennedy. It's no doubt winter, and it has been for a while. Today, we have three members of the West Ottawa Varsity Hockey Team with us. They are coming off a really big OK Red Conference Tournament win last night and are gracious enough to join us today. And it's our pleasure to ask, who is it?
Tyler Noblett.
Krue Anderson.
Tom Carey.
Awesome. Super pumped to have you guys here today. Checked the score as soon as I got up this morning to make sure that we were all going to be in a good mood as we got together, as we had this scheduled. Big win to get us into the semifinal, the conference tournament, and we have a little bit of a rival waiting for us on Friday night. So super fired up for that.
Yeah, we're excited for that. We're also excited to kind of be here. We are taking the 29-1 podcast on the road. You guys are, where are we, fellas?
We're at the rink at Griff's.
Yeah, in the Hope film room, it looks like.
Yeah, it's Griff's Ice House West. This is north side of Holland, just off of 31. Have you guys been in this room before?
Yeah, we've done a lot of film up here before, especially growing up, playing for the Ice Dogs. Sometimes we'll get the room and be able to do film upstairs, and it's a sweet place to be. I love being up here. So
you were doing film as an Ice Dog. How old were you when you were doing that?
I mean, ages from like 9 to 15. Whenever we get the chance to come up here, we'd come up and try and do film up on the TV that they have up here. So
no kidding.
This is the first episode of the 29-1 not recorded at West Ottawa High School. So you guys are pioneers in the podcast space on the road.
Coach, this is pretty much your guys' second home during this, from November forward, at least with this team, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much live here, it seems like, and same with these guys. So,
Krue, what's the craziest time you've been at this arena, either day or night? It's what time is it right now? We got, a little after 3:30 in the afternoon. What are some of the craziest times of day you've been in this building?
We did a lock-in for Ice Dogs, like my travel team, I think a couple years back, and we were here all night.
Oh, let's go.
I think we got on the ice at like 2 a.m. for a little skate, and yeah, that was pretty fun. We've been here crazy times, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Ice is cheaper at 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Let's talk about last night's win. Last night's wins got you to what, 8-11-1. I went on max preps. Hopefully that's accurate. That was a really big win last night. Hard-fought win against Forest Hills Eastern Northern. Scoreless first period to start, Krue. What was the pace of that game early on?
Yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of chances here and there, but good goalie for them, and then we also had Willie in net, so that kept us in it. But yeah, I mean, we were looking to get one, and then started the second. We got one pretty early on the power play, and then finished with another. So yeah, pretty good.
I want to personally thank the Anderson brothers for doing the goals. And we're going to talk about the brotherhood of this team a little bit later. So you guys scoring too. Tell me about those second period goals.
They were super awesome to be a part of. Seeing Krue score our second goal of the game, that it shot seriously iced in my veins, and I was super excited to see him score and throw his hands up. So it was a really good feeling, especially getting up 2-0 in the second period. So that was super awesome for us.
Coach, you get to that third period. Will's playing really nice in net. He was standing on his head a little bit last night. They score, 4 or 5 minutes into the third period? Then you guys really got to go to work.
Yeah, we talked about it going into the third period in the room, that we're trying to keep it from being a Jenison game all over again, where you're up 2-0 and you're coming back out there and kind of get a little loose in that first couple of shifts and try and just keep the pace our way. And of course, 3-4 minutes in, we give up one, and our heels are kind of pressed. And yeah, I mean, they gave it to us for a couple minutes there, and we ended up calling a timeout late, and I think it was like 5-6 minutes left in the third, and readjusted some of our forecheck in our neutral zone, and kind of went to a 1-3-1 and was able to hold them off, and then made it interesting for the last 30 seconds or so with the tripping down there with somebody sitting here. So
yeah, I saw. Hey man, I was behind the net watching. I'm like, where was that penalty? Was it a trip?
Yeah, I definitely got him. That was bad.
Well, you had to with 12 seconds left. I mean, you can't let them get a scoring chance that late in the game, but
yeah. And then we're going to turn around after the conference tournament, and we're going to see these guys again next week, prior to heading into regionals. What is that like, kind of circling back and getting to see that team again?
Yeah, I mean, we know what to expect from like a forecheck or a neutral zone kind of standpoint, but I mean, anything can really happen. I know they were down their starting goalie, I think, so they could come out stronger, but yeah, I mean, we'll see.
That was they have some really big players, some of those forwards. I mean, can we just give a kudos to Tegan Johnson for a minute?
Yeah.
Pound for pound, this kid is tough. Tyler, maybe you can talk about him a little bit.
I've been playing hockey with Tegan seriously like 9 years in a row. We've been on the same team growing up all throughout, like playing Holland Ice Dogs and playing West Ottawa. It's been a crazy experience, had the ups and downs, but he's always pound for pound had the most amount of effort I've ever seen out of a hockey player. So, Coach, what do you think about him?
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, he's really filled a much bigger role this year. He was probably like right around our fifth D last year, and now he's moving his way into the top three. So he's getting a lot of minutes, and yeah, he's playing great. He's a lot tougher in the corners and moving pucks up the ice. And yeah, I've never coached a kid that gets hit as much as he does, but he gets back up and gets out there the next shift. So
yeah, he took a big hit in that third period over on those far boards, and he was down for, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds or so.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long it takes because a trainer is going out on there on running shoes or whatever. I mean, if you're going down in hockey, you're down for a little bit, right, Tyler? I mean, no one's getting there quick.
I mean, it always sucks going down. It's a little embarrassing, but I mean, if you can't stand up, like, you got to stay down, make sure you're doing okay, and just play it safe at that point.
And you got hit in that third period. I think you hit legs with somebody, right?
Yeah,
over by the circle.
Yeah, he hit me clean, but I mean, I just had a little knee-on-knee contact, and then I had knee issues before that. So, I mean, just re-injuring what already happened. I went in the locker room. I threw a brace on that I thought I didn't need, put a bunch of tape on it, and said, I'm going to suck it up and try and play the rest of this game. So,
and that's hockey, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, especially you get to this point of the high school season, we're a couple of weeks away from postseason starting. There's virtually nobody in the locker room, Coach, that's walking around 100% at this point of the year, right?
No, we've been battling injuries all year, like which is tough. Like we lost Carson at the Jenison game, so we're missing him for the last 5 games now. Tyler took a knee against Caledonia, so we lost him for that game, and then took a week off. And then it was kind of scary yesterday seeing him take another knee, and then trying to figure out if he can go or not. But I mean, that's just the heart that Tyler has, like playing on basically one leg all day yesterday, and not all day, but in the third. So it's great to see. Like these guys, they want to get out there and get whatever they got, banging up injuries or whatever it is. So.
Yeah, I noticed
special.
You went to the locker room, right, to check on him?
Yeah,
I saw you leave the bench.
Yeah, I gave Darren the reins for the 5 minutes and went in and checked on Tyler to see what he wanted to do. And I said, hey, it's up to you. It's your call. Like, if you want to go, I'll put you out there. If you don't, then you can just hang out on the bench. And he's like, no, I'm going. So,
Krue, he's in the locker room. You're trying to hold the fort for your team. What's it like seeing him come on back to the bench and jumping over the boards there?
Yeah, it's definitely a spark we needed. He's a pretty electric forward, to say the least. So that definitely helped, especially with like him being a good buddy of mine. Don't want to ever see him hurt. So,
right.
Yeah, that was good.
Let's get to know you guys a little bit. Coach, your second year here at West Ottawa, 30 years old. So nice young coach. It must be nice for a player to have a younger coach. Talk about who your assistants are and how that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so we have Darren, who is a West Ottawa grad. He coached prior to me coming in. So he called me and he was like, hey, I really want to keep going. And I was like, all right, that's fine. Like, we'll do a summer trial. And I think I had him on the bench for one day and talked to him right afterwards and said, yeah, we're good.
You knew right away?
I knew right away.
That's nice.
Just a couple of things that he was saying on the bench. He was engaged. The kids all liked him. And he knows what he's talking about. So that goes a long way. And then my brother is he's our D coach.
That's your little brother, right?
Yeah, middle brother.
Did we say younger or little when we talk about the younger brothers? Because you guys got him too.
I say definitely younger, probably.
Yeah, definitely younger brother.
Oh, okay. All right. I was always called the little brother by my bigger brher, and I always took offense to that. So you guys are pretty nice guys.
Yeah, I say younger. I mean, Dan's not much. He's not little anymore. He probably can take me now. So he's definitely a little bit bigger than I am. These guys like to give him grief, but.
You played a lot of hockey yourself growing up, right? You played over on the east side of the state. Can you tell us a little bit about your playing career?
Yeah, so I'm from Livonia, so on the east side. Got in skates at 3 and played for Livonia growing up, and then played at Victory Honda, and then played 4 years at Livonia Churchill, and then went over and played 1 year in Canada, and then went right to the ACHA after that, after realizing that I was just going to play NCAA D3 and couldn't really afford it, so. Yeah, went to the ACHA and nothing better.
Yeah, my nephew actually got to play juniors in Canada for a couple of years, lived with a couple of families, and then played out in Long Beach, California for a while, got traded to the team in Chicago. He's actually playing for a team out of Alpena right now. Interestingly enough, though, like growing up, he was a goalie from Alabama, Huntsville, so where UAH really kind of started their hockey program. Junior hockey is just a crazy world, right? And you guys have aspirations, junior hockey?
I mean, like, moving forward, I would love to go play junior hockey. Obviously, college is in the future, but if I could get, like, a little taste of some tier 2, tier 3 juniors, I would love to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think to play at the college level I want to, I think junior's a step I need to take, and it's been good. I know Tyler and I have both been able to practice with the junior team out of this rink, the Fresh Coast Freeze. So that's been pretty good just to get a feel for it. But yeah.
Yeah, I saw them at the Jenison game. They were out in the crowd. I didn't know who was there. So just because I know hockey a little bit, I know when people show up in suits, they're somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the Fresh Coast, I'm not saying it wrong. What's it called again?
Fresh Coast Freeze.
It is. Okay, so it's Fresh Coast. They were there in suits. I'm like, okay, I've got somebody here today. So how do you guys feel about having, what do you guys like about your coach? What do you like about your coaching staff?
I love Tom. Tom's always got a different kind of energy than Stone did, because I played my sophomore year. We had a different coach, and Tom just brought a different, more level-headed kind of energy to the game and kind of showed me like, hey, hockey can be really simple. Hockey can be really fun. All you got to do is trust me. And Tom definitely brings that aspect of, hey, I'm a trustworthy guy. Just do what I say and we'll move forward.
Krue?
Yeah, I think one good thing is just like the age we already kind of talked about. Like they're all good friends with them, but also like we're here to play hockey and they're all good coaches. They know what they're talking about. And then also like when we're in the off season, like I'll text Tom almost every day with like questions, whether that's like shooting form or just like teams and stuff like that. And he's always there to answer and kind of help me out with that. So,
well, speaking of shooting, I was able to talk to your pops on the phone the other day, and I said, hey, tell me a little bit about Krue. I don't really know him at all. You have a setup in your garage that is quite extraordinary, I heard, right?
Yeah.
Can you give me the breakdown? Your dad said you practice at least 200 shots a day, at least 7 days a week, sometimes 8 days a week, apparently. What's it like in that garage of yours?
Yeah, I call it the lab, work on whatever I want. But I got a couple pads and pull them out in the driveway, and then I got a tarp in the garage and a couple nets and about 200 pucks and call it good. So, yeah, and then my dad also set up like a speaker system, so I got that going for me too, and it's been fun. And then I've also been able to have a couple friends come over and teammates too, so get them going on shots. But, yeah, I think that's definitely been a good thing for my shot, especially.
Tyler, you been over there, check that out?
Oh yeah, I've been invited. I remember the first time Krue had me over to shoot. He was like, "All right, do you guys want to just mess around or do shooting drills?" I was like, "Shooting drills." I was a little intimidated at first, and we ended up getting through it. But I just remember just 1% better every day, and that's a prime example of that.
We need a sign like in there that says the lab.
Yeah,
that is legit.
What's really funny too is when you love a sport, like that's not work to you, is it? Like it's pure enjoyment.
right. Yeah, it's something I do in my free time. I mean, obviously, like if I had a bad game or miss a certain shot, I'll work on that. But other time, it's just the want to get better or just to have fun, really.
Your dad also had like everybody has an origin story when they start a sport, right? Like how did you begin? So can you tell me if you still remember this? He said you probably will. The double stroller moment at a community arena. Do you remember that?
Yeah. So it was my older sister. It was back in Detroit where we grew up, and it was like a dance studio or something like that connected to a hockey rink. And I think my older sister was there. And then I ended up like wandering off, and I think I ended up in the rink. My mom caught me there, and I just told her that I wanted to skate. And then I think I was like 3 or 2 at that time, and then I just kind of grew from there, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty classic. I just love all these like interesting stories, how somebody gets started. Coach, big move for him this year, moving from playing forward back to defense. Can you talk about him a little bit, being able to do that for the team and what it means?
Yeah, I think it was a tough sell at first. I think we started at Mona. We were struggling and we were having issues trying to get pucks out of our zone, and Krue wasn't really getting the puck a whole lot up at the wing. So going into
like that, did you?
Going into the third, we kind of just said, "No, we're just going to try it out." I mean, Krue can handle a puck. He's a good skater. He's a big body. So we're like, yeah, we'll just toss him back there and see how he does. And it was crazy. He went from maybe touching the puck like for 10, 15 seconds a shift to now the puck's on his stick for 20, 30 seconds. And he does a really good job of buying himself time and coming back and finding the small areas to be able to get pucks out of our zone. So it's crazy what of a difference it's made. And it was a tough sell for him at first, but we joked. I joked with them at the Chelsea showcase that I was like, Krue, you've had 2 goals as a forward in 9 games, and now you got 6 or 7 as a defenseman in 9 games. So I think we're doing the right things here.
Yeah, that was a tough sell for you.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, at home, I'm just training to be a forward, just like shot in the drills I do, and then also like in the fall season, like I played MDHL, which is that league, and then I was a forward the whole time. I was pretty successful there, so I didn't know like what my future would look like as a D to say. So it was definitely a little bit rough, and especially because the season didn't start out how I necessarily wanted to, and I was just kind of still mad about that. But like now, it's I got no problem with it. I get the puck, and then I can just, if I really wanted to, I could just skate it up or just make a.
You don't win last night's game if you're not playing defense.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm serious. It's not even close.
Yeah, I mean, the team definitely helped there, but yeah, it's something.
Hey, everybody has a role to play.
Yeah, and Tyler, what's that like for you to see one of your buddies, one of your teammates kind of be selfless, right? And really thinking about the team first and making a move like that?
I mean, it's super awesome to see that we have guys on the bench that are willing to do stuff and put the team first. Krue, especially moving back to D. I mean, I've played my fair share of D when I was a little kid, but it's nothing like what he's doing now. Being able to have the skills that he has on the back end, especially as a forward, being able to get out of the zone, you have confidence knowing the puck's going to go where he wants it to go.
Coach, you want to speak to that? There was some late third period last night. There was a lot of pressure deep in our zone, right? And it was intense. And this guy here is getting the puck out a lot. I mean, it was tough, but he was getting it done. What's it like having him back there?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I mean, it was probably one of the better things we've done this year is putting him back there. I mean, we played the game 51 minutes, and Krue probably logs like 40.
That was my next question. It was my next question.
So it's awesome. I mean, we like I said early in the year, we struggled really bad of getting pucks out of the zone, and since we put Krue back there, he has the capability of finding that time and finding the guys out when we're stretching wings, and he's able to put the puck on their stick, or like you said, he can skate the puck out when needed. But yeah, it's been awesome to see him do it.
Just watching it, I think it's even if I'm on the other team as a forward going in, I'm like, oh, I know this guy has offensive skills. So it changes even you as a forward going into forecheck, because you'll just do a sharp turn and head the other direction like nothing, right? Not every defenseman does that. So
right, it just shows that he has the puck skills and the skating skills, right? So it goes a long way with us.
It's all that time in the lab.
Yeah.
Without the lab, where would we be?
Yeah, right.
Tyler, one thing I noticed about you last night, other than your great, coming back from injury, your unique face-off style is really something to behold. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on this, but you hold that stick like 90 degrees. It's almost like straight down. Where'd you learn that?
I'm going to be 100% honest. I learned like my sophomore year, my dad pulled up a video of Dylan Larkin taking face-offs and just trying to be aggressive, get as low as possible, put your head in the center of the dot. And I was like, hey, maybe I'll try it. And it ended up working out for me. So,
Coach, that's not common to take draws like that. I haven't seen it before. Have you? Or you've been around hockey more than me, but.
I mean, you can take them as long as you're winning them. Like, whatever works for you, works for you. But yeah, I mean, there's certain ways you can take them. But as long as we're winning the face-offs, like, I'm not going to, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So,
Yep. You have a unique story, too, for starting. When you were a little fella, you guys used to live out in Muskegon. Talk about, kind of how you became familiar with hockey as a little kid.
I remember my parents have always been super close around hockey. They both went to Michigan State, and Michigan State was pretty dominant in hockey at that time. So always when I would be I was like 2, 3, 4 years old, there'd always be hockey on the TV. And I remember just wanting to get mini sticks or go to a game or at least put skates on. And I remember my first actual experience with hockey is we have a little cottage up in Muskegon.
Yeah.
And we went over there, and it's on the lake. It's super like in the woods lake, like not very good ice. And I remember going over there with a shovel, and I told my dad, like, hey, Dad, I need skates. I need to try this. And I mean, I couldn't get skates right then and there. And then I kept pushing him. But eventually, like a year and a half later, he got me skates and straight to learn to skate and instantly fell in love. So.
Yeah, once you get familiar with getting on the ice and hitting the ice, I know I grew up with a lot of hockey players, and it's just like when you get on the ice, it's just the best feeling, isn't it, Coach? I mean, is it kind of a thing for you growing up too?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love being at the rink. Like it was, if you're having a good day, bad day, like you get an hour, 2 hours at the rink, and nothing else really matters. You get to hang out with your buddies, or just being on the ice is awesome, and that's why I enjoy coaching so much. It's great being able to come here if you have a bad day at work or even a good day. Like just being here with the boys is a lot of fun. Look forward to it every day.
There was an alumni game a little while ago, maybe a month or so ago?
Yeah, about
Coach. I heard Coach laced up and was playing. He can still hold his own, you guys? What's he like?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he can definitely hold his own against us. So
yeah, I don't know. I talked to my mom after, and she kept wondering who was on the ice, and because I think he had the Max Schwartz jersey on from last year, and she was just kept talking to me, wondering who it was, and I told her it was Tom, and yeah, I mean, he's fine.
Yeah, I've definitely lost a touch or two, and just getting older and a little bit wider. So
yeah, I mean, we all get that, but at age 30, you still got most of it.
Trying to keep up with these guys. So
yeah.
So we have a real family affair going on with hockey right now. Tyler, probably nobody more than you, right? Because your mom and dad are also helping to run the hockey program right now. The administrative stuff, making sure Chuck a Puck gets taken care of. What's that experience been like to kind of bring them along and have them be a part of your senior year?
Oh my goodness. It's it's just a part of our family. It's something that we can all relate to and all tie together on. It's so cool, especially having my younger brother Ethan on the team. It's super cool to see him progress and accelerate and learn to love the game and make new friends, and then having Mason also playing Ice Dogs, be in the stands and just be supportive, and seeing my mom wear my jersey. It ties our family together so well, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah, it was a real long road to get here. You guys mentioned the Ice Dogs a few times. Did you guys play together a lot growing up? I mean, you're a year apart. So what's that like for you guys?
We played together a couple years, maybe 2 years, but we're both born in 2007. So we ended up being on the same Ice Dogs team most of the time, or at least in the same age group.
How many games a year got a year with Ice Dogs?
I think it was around like 50, I think, for most seasons, and then playoffs would sometimes lead it to more, but I think around 50. Sure.
Around 50, and then you'd have some tournament weekends that would go a little further than 50.
This must feel like a light schedule to you guys.
Yeah, but the games are a lot more intense, to say the least. Like, just what you get from it, just like taking all the hits and, playing as much, like it definitely takes a bigger toll on your body for sure.
Yeah, the high school game tends to be pretty physical.
Yeah.
Right, and that's why we don't see a ton of freshmen really play high school hockey. We have one on our roster, is that right, Coach? Oh, 3. We're young. What is it like kind of introducing those younger players into the world of high school hockey, where kids are a little bit bigger and they're going to be a little bit more aggressive?
Yeah, it's I think we're probably one of the youngest high school teams, honestly. Mm-hmm. I mean, but that's kind of what we have right now, just with, I think we had maybe 18, 19 guys try out for our team this year. And we've started with 17, and then Connor got hurt. Then we're at 16, so now we're back to 17. So yeah, I mean, to be able to try and compete, like the younger guys, you got to get them in early and get their feet wet, and they've all been great for us. They've been honestly almost in every other shift, like between Aiden and Eli and Connor. Yeah, they play a ton. So it's good to see the young guys getting in there and actually contributing to the team. So
yeah, you guys spent a lot of time with Frank through the off season, up in the weight room. What is that, Tyler? Maybe you can speak to this first. What has that done for you as the season has gone on? Have you seen the benefits of all of that strength training in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, definitely the boys have gotten a little bit stronger. I feel like adding on to that, it's brought us together to be more of a family and unite, because we're all up. Like, when we would do our lifts, it'd be really early, like 6:30, 7 in the morning, and nobody wants to get up at 6:30 in the morning, especially in the summer. And to see everyone turn out and want to be a part of this family, it really brought everyone close together, because we're going through the hard times together, and it's super special to see.
Yeah, that's the Dawn Patrol right there.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's been, a lot of the team stuff with Frank. Like, we were just in there today, and we hit a light lift, and then Frank was in the wrestling room with us, and we did like 20 minutes of stretching and meditation. So, I mean, he's been great because he knows everything to do, but also, like, I think when I was playing in MDHL, one thing I kind of noticed was my speed wasn't where it needed to be, I'll say, just playing with all those Detroit guys. And then I texted Frank and said I was just looking to get faster, and he legit sent me like a 10-step routine of plyometrics, and I did them for the entire fall after that, and then I've definitely seen progress in my speed since then. So, I mean, he's great.
Coach, that's Darren's role, right? Like, tends to be the coach in the weight room with the guys.
Yeah, him and I both were going in the summer, near the end of summer when like the rules kind of kick in and stuff like that. Like, yeah, Darren pretty much took over from there, but yeah, we just did early in the morning, so I think we started at 6:30, and that way these guys can have the rest of the day, and that way I don't get in trouble at work. I can actually get to the office at a decent hour. So
I guess that's another thing I'd be interested to hear from you about. What is it like kind of juggling this you're a full-time professional, and trying to be there for the boys and the team and practice schedules and all of that? What is that like during the hockey season for you?
It's chaotic for sure. But no, I love it. Like, I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't love it. But yeah, it's definitely a lot, working 40, 50 hours a week and then coming to the rink. So I go from work to the rink, sometimes back to work, but no, I wouldn't change it. I love doing it, and these guys make it special, and we have a good group in the room this year, and not too many issues, and we get the business, but then outside of the rink, like, we have a good time, and like I said, I love doing it.
Yeah. Let's talk about some other players on the team. Maybe let's talk about your goalie, first of all.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Will Nagervort for a second, because he is really fun to watch. From my perspective last night, during the third period, I kind of stood behind the net, and there was a few saves that he made that I'm like, oh, that was going in. That was elite. There was one blocker save that he made real late. That puck was heading right into that top corner, and he got it. Tyler, if you want to start, talk about Will a little bit.
I mean, Will and I have been super close for super long. Him and I, seriously, we live 8 houses apart. So every single day we go, and either I'll take him to school, he'll take me to school, and it's seriously like family. My family loves his family. I'm assuming his family loves my family. But I mean, I absolutely love being around Will.
You seem fairly pleasant.
Oh, I mean, I love spending time with Will. I sit right next to him in the locker room, and all we do is joke around. It's great. So.
And as a hockey goalie crew, what's he like to have back there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's definitely pretty special. He's definitely gifted, and I don't think our team is as good without him. So he's definitely kept us in close games and kept not so close games pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, and have you guys seen him hit a golf ball?
Oh, yeah. He's elite, too.
So, yeah,
Oh, really? He can hit it?
Oh, he's legit.
Yeah, I played with him this summer. He beat me.
He's legit. He'll lead our team in the springtime here. He's a really good golfer.
How far is he hitting off the tee?
Farther than me.
He puts it out there. He puts it out
I've seen
there.
him hit 300 before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willie's awesome. He's definitely the backbone or the heart and soul of our team. Like Krue said, like he's definitely won us some games, especially last year, just only being a sophomore and pretty much playing every game. I think he ended up playing like 22 and a half of our 25. And yeah, he stole probably 4 or 5 of those games himself. And then this year, like, he's been awesome. We got to rely on him every game. We only have one. So he's, like I said, he's
I was checking out that team picture. I didn't see a second set of pads anywhere.
No, we have two younger guys that will practice with us. So that way we have 2 to 3 goalies every practice. And it's.
So we opened up the podcast today with a little electric guitar, Star Spangled Banner. There's another guy, and hockey's one of those unique sports where a lot of programs are co-opted. So you've got multiple schools kind of coming together. Krue, can you talk a little bit about Charlie Moncoon, our Black River representative, and what he kind of brings to the team, other than those luscious locks, man?
Yeah, I know he's pretty special. He's a big PK guy, and he's a workhorse. Like, he gets hit probably just as much as Tegan, and he draws penalties. Like, if you want a power play, you got to put Charlie out there, and he'll draw you one. But yeah, he's a character for sure. One time my car shut down here at the rink, and he jump started it, and
with his electric guitar.
Yeah, maybe, but no, I would have had no idea to do that. Like, he knows everything, and he's like he's a senior, and I talk to him a lot, and he gives me pretty good advice. So he's great.
Yeah, you got some other seniors on the team, right? So we got Aaron's. We just talked about Charlie. How about Moore? He's graduating this year. Are you good friends with him too?
Oh,
I mean, you guys all are close.
Yeah. Ethan Moore is seriously a brother from another mother. He was seriously.
There's always one.
Today.
As long as you have somebody in your life that is that guy, it's a good thing.
Like, seriously, just today, we had the workout with Frank, and I'm driving home. I'm going to Walgreens to go buy a knee brace. He calls me and goes, "Hey, can I come over to your house for a little bit, go shoot some pucks?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I won't be there." And then, not thinking anything of it, I didn't see his car in the driveway, and I called him and was like, "Hey, did you come over?" He's like, "Yeah, I was at your house by myself, and I was just shooting pucks, and I left before you got back, so hopefully that's not a problem." He's seriously, like, he just comes in and out of our house. He's just another kid in our family, so I absolutely love being around Ethan. He's super funny.
Yeah, so we touched on it a little bit earlier about kind of the brotherhood that is within the program right now. Dan Diadonna from the Holland Sentinel did a really nice article for us a couple of weeks ago, talking about all of the combination and the brother combos. You guys are, well, all 3 of you are part of that combination. Coach, maybe you can give us a start here. What has that been like, kind of not only coaching with your brother, but then coaching a team that has so many brother combos within it?
Yeah, it's I could talk about the team part first. I've never had anything like it. I played on teams where we only had maybe one set of brothers. So seeing this is pretty special. Like, it's crazy. It's half our roster is just brothers. And then being able to coach my brothers, it's different. Like, we've always missed each other by a year. We're 4 years apart, but we're also 4 grades apart. So we never, in high school, I graduated, he became a freshman. And then in college, we both went to Grand Valley, but I had graduated and then he came in to Grand Valley. So yeah, we just missed each other by a year. I mean, we grew up playing hockey with each other down in the basement and stuff like that, but we never actually did anything hockey related in an organization. So having him is pretty cool. He definitely gets the short end of the stick between myself and Darren because he's my brother. So it's a little bit easier to snap on him than snap on a couple other people. So
Yep, you can always go at your brother, no questions asked, because you've done it before and you'll do it again, and tomorrow will be just fine, right?
Right. Yeah. So there's been a couple incidents the last 2 years with that, but no, he takes it well and he just moves on. So
all right, so we got you and your brother, Krue. You have you and Krue.
Yep. Yeah. So I think it's definitely been pretty cool. I think he's progressed this year for sure, just gaining more confidence. But like just the whole team wise with the Brotherhood, I think it helps with chemistry so much because we all know each other so well. And like just to have a guy you can kind of rely on just because you know him so well definitely helps.
Yeah, I mean, to tie into that, like everyone's in a super good mental space this year. I feel like everyone's got a good friend to sit with at lunch. Everyone's got someone to talk to. And I feel like outside of the rink, that's super, super important. But going into more me and Ethan's relationship, I feel like especially the car rides home, even after like a bad game or even a good game. I remember the first game he scored on the road. I remember sitting in the truck and just going crazy. We were blasting music. I told Dad we were going to go get ice cream. And it was super awesome to just have him in the car and just know like, hey, we're living in the same household. We're sleeping under the same roof. Like that's someone to be proud of. So
yeah, that's awesome, man.
And then also you got Nate and Eli Bean, and then Connor and Aiden Reedy. So it's really something. You know, I hadn't watched you play this year until I went to the Jennison game, and what's really funny is that it stood out there. So I'm not looking at a program or anything. I'm like, wait a minute. I saw that name twice. I saw that name again. I saw that name again. It was like the same names kept repeating themselves. Then I pull out the program, and sure enough, it's everybody's got a brother on the team. It's pretty crazy. Let's get into some of the fun things about hockey, because hockey has so many really fun, cool things that are kind of part of the culture. First, we're going to go to the hair, which is also known, I think, I'm an old guy, so if I'm wrong on this, let me know. But it's also known as the flow or the lettuce.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Who has the best hair on the team? I mean,
best hair. Oh,
best
my
hockey
goodness.
hair. We'll go hockey hair first.
Hockey hair.
Is there anybody but Charlie? I mean,
I love
yours comes
Chuck's
out of your
hair.
helmet, Krue, a little bit. I was watching last night. I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, if Will wore a player helmet, he'd have the best hair. That's my opinion.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And then I got to shout out to the freshman. I got to go Eli B in that one. That middle part's pretty sick, I will say.
Oh, he's got the middle part
Yeah,
going?
rocks it well.
Yeah,
No kidding.
It looks nice.
All right. So a few different one there. Another part of hockey, of course, is suits on game day. You guys do that regularly, Coach?
yeah, for the most part, I would say everyone pretty much wears a suit every day.
Yeah. On the home games, we do suits. And then on the away games, we do like pretty much the same stuff. It's just a woe jacket instead of a suit.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And suits in the building over the years, like dudes go all out. Like they're just not throwing a suit on. Like they are getting after it. I mean, some necklaces. Yeah,
There's
it's
no
legit.
need to look bad if you're putting a suit
Nope.
on, especially hockey players.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on with hockey, and having that suit on for hockey is sweet.
Yeah.
Who does the suit the best on the team, Coach? In your opinion?
I don't know. Like a lot of the guys have some good ones. Like I'll give Krue some credit. Like he rocks the floods a little bit at the bottom, so show out the ankles.
Nice.
Is that just because you haven't upgraded your pant game, or
No,
is that,
I would
that's the
say
style?
mostly my mom. She doesn't really like it when the pants are too high on me, so leave it at that. But I don't think it looks too bad. And I guess Coach kind of likes it too, so that's good.
Good style.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tradition in hockey too, with pregame meals, putting on equipment, taping your stick. What are your guys' go-to meals pregame?
Every single game, Jimmy John's sandwich and a bag of chips. It's like, and seriously, you go ask any one of the brothers on the team, like every single kid walks into the rink with Jimmy John's. Every single kid.
Yeah. And I think I got to shout out to my mom here. She's a great cook. So pretty much whatever she makes for me, I'll eat. But we've been going with chicken Alfredo for this season. It's been working pretty well, I'd say. But yeah, I mean, shout out to her.
Are you gonna talk about your lunchbox at all, or
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she makes me a pretty good lunch, too. It keeps me fueled for the day. But, yeah, she's great.
Gotta love moms, man.
Yeah, man.
Gotta love moms. Anybody quirky with stick taping or the order putting on equipment? You notice anything like that, Coach? Anybody quirky that way?
No, I kind of stay out of the room when the boys are in there. I think that's important for them to have their time together. And like our coaching office is on the other side of the hall, so
Nice.
we're quite far away. And then like for game times and stuff like that, like the coaches pretty much hang out on the outside. We give these boys some space, and it's good for them to have an hour to themselves and kind of enclosed doors and just talk as a group and just be younger guys and have some fun in the room.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool that you do that. You guys, does every coach do that?
I don't necessarily know, but it definitely gives us time to like mentally lock in, I would say, just because we just focus on whatever we're thinking about. But yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some coaches that do that, but with the equipment dressing, there's some guys that have their routines. Like Kyler Comet's got to be dressed 30 minutes before the game.
No kidding.
Every single game.
Yeah. Really?
Like he walked out of the room yesterday before any of us even went into the room. He's got full gear on.
Yeah, the guy gets dressed in like 5 minutes. That's crazy.
Well, he is a ball of energy.
Got a lot
Right?
going on.
That's to say the least.
He was at, we started some student run live streams now, and he's part of this kind of group of kids in WOBN that are doing some live streams. And he was there for the first one the other night. Man, bouncing off the wall. He's got 100 ideas, throwing them at me. I'm like, Kyler, man, we got to slow down. This is the first live stream. Like, let's baby steps, baby.
Is he on the penalty killing unit?
Yeah, he's out there. He's on the PK and the
that would help.
PP.
It's a good place for a guy with high energy.
I'm not a big rah-rah guy myself, so I'm happy we have Kyler. So
Well, you know what I noticed yesterday too at that game? You're very calm behind the bench. I mean, do you remember Jacques Demers way back in the day?
I know
Red Wing coach. But anyways, you're standing there, and it's getting hectic in the third period. Like they're in the zone a lot. There's a number of times there's like you couldn't clear the zone. The puck's staying in. And you're like just very stoic, taking your time. Does his calmness calm you guys down?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like 100% honesty, I'm not really paying attention to Tom. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. But I mean, it's definitely
and that's
nice.
okay.
It's
That's
definitely
good.
nice to not have him like yelling at someone the whole time, just, like getting on someone's butt about something.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like, especially like when I make a mistake, it's better that he's more calm and trying to help me fix it rather than just screaming at me and telling me I did bad. So that's definitely pretty helpful.
Best shot on the team. Tyler, who's got it?
Krue Anderson for sure.
I know.
100%. He's in the lab.
He's in the lab. $2. Coach, best passer.
probably Knobs.
Nice. Best skater.
Krue.
Oh,
Krue 100%.
We got some good guys.
yeah,
Knobs good skater. Krue's a good skater. Give Eli Bean there too.
pretty quick.
I mean, if you can't skate, you can't really play. So,
No, you can't. You have to skate.
Yeah, that's why I can't play hockey.
Yeah, you got to be able to skate. Funniest guy on the team, Krue. Who is it?
In some moments, I think I got to give it to Kyler just because he's the big energy guy. He's always buzzing. And then I think Tegan's pretty funny. And Krue has some good one-liners. He's kind of known around the room as that. He just randomly pops in, says a quick one-line, and he's out. And then we're all just laughing.
That's pretty great. If you can pull off the one-liner and leave the room.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with the Krue one. Like last year, he didn't really talk much. It was hard to get him to open up. But even when we're trying to have like a serious meeting or something along those lines, he always found a way to like kind of slip in like a one-liner, and I just couldn't keep myself from laughing. And he's really opened up this year. So yeah, there's more and more one-liners coming out. But yeah, he's hilarious.
Dirtiest locker.
Ethan Moore.
Yeah.
Ethan Moore. Oh my goodness. We got the snack. We got the refrigerator in there with Gatorades, and every single time it's like one empty Gatorade bottles and like got some goldfish wrappers in there or something. Ethan Moore. That's
He's pretty much got the trash can like in his locker. He's not been cleaning it too much, I'll say.
There's lots of some other fun things of hockey. Of course, you got your bus rides, especially when you get a charter. That's always a great part of hockey, just chilling like that. I always love the hockey team photo. I played hockey when I was, I think, till about age 15. But I always remember just having that team photo was always really fun. You guys got a great team photo here. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I kind of look like a doofus though with that hat on. I don't know why I wore a hat. Like,
Oh, you do have the hat on.
Oh, there you go.
Your beard's not really in there either, is it?
No,
Or is it? Maybe it is. Anyways, I always like the hockey team photo. It's just kind of a great thing. It's a very weird thing to do as a hockey player, to sit there with your skates and your gloves and sit like that. It's kind of weird.
Last year's fake mustaches were some of my favorite that I've ever seen in a photo.
Worst things I've seen. Wackus and
Brondike.
Right, Wackus and Brondike, they had like maybe 5 hairs on their lip and they took some mascara to it.
It was so good.
Oh, that's pretty classic. There's one other thing I want to do about hockey. Being a fan of hockey, a great part about hockey is the sounds of hockey. There's not other sports that have these sounds. This is one of my favorite. I mean, it's the horn, It's a goal. That's actually Krue. That's your goal versus Jensen on senior night, actually.
Yeah.
So that was pretty awesome.
We comboed with Hope a couple of years ago to get the horn in to try to add that atmosphere to our home ice. So
oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's nice to hear when it goes.
Yeah,
off.
it's definitely pretty cool. I don't know many other high schools that have that, and especially because it's just kind of ours. It's like the sound, when you hear that sound, there's been a goal scored for West Ottawa. So it's pretty cool.
You know what's cool? I was checking out on Spotify the other day, and I was going just through. Every NHL team has a different style of horn. It's just a little bit different. I didn't know that, but it was pretty cool. So when you say it's your horn, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the unique sound, but yeah, it's pretty cool to have for sure.
Then you go to a neutral game yesterday, and there's nothing.
Yeah,
it kind of just takes away from the nature of hockey a little bit.
So this is kind of the first year that we, as kind of OK Conference, have come together and put this tournament together. From an AD's perspective, it's a logistical nightmare because we're trying to figure out bus times like 12 hours before we need a bus. We've got to make sure that, the home team's got to provide the trainer, the away team's got to provide the scores table people. So there's a lot of moving pieces. What's it been like for you guys to kind of go through it for the first time and have this kind of tournament mentality? Our thought was that it would prepare our teams better for postseason.
I really like it. I think it's pretty cool. It's a lot better than what we did last year, right? Like you kind of just play your games and it's kind of over. Now it kind of gives you a chance to actually play for something. So I think it's good for our group too, especially like Krue mentioned earlier. Like we've left a lot on the table kind of so far this season on a couple of games, and now it kind of gives these guys something to play for and gears us up for regionals, right? So I like it a lot, and hopefully they decide to keep going with it.
Yeah, I think it's here to stay. It's interesting to hear you guys. Krue, what do you think?
I think it definitely helps like our mindset. Like it's win only. Like 'cause if you lose, like you still play, but I mean you're out of the contention for playing for something, and then that definitely leads into like regionals, for example, where you just have to win or your season. Mm-hmm. So for sure, that definitely helps.
I mean, I just love the mentality of, hey, we're gonna go play a tournament. Like pack your bags, we're gonna go play, and I absolutely love that. And I also like that it's at a different rink and it's kind of mutual. So I do enjoy that mostly because there's games before, there's games after. You can kind of see everything that's going on. So I love the atmosphere of it.
And it's given us a great opportunity to avenge a loss from earlier in the season against our rivals from up the road. Kind of what are your thoughts as we go into that tomorrow night, Coach?
My big one's going to be we got to stay disciplined. We got ourselves in some trouble in that game. We went down early 3-0 with some penalty trouble, and I think if we clean that up, we'll be all right. Like we went up going down. I think it was like 5-1, and then we climbed back 5-4, and we had a chance to tie it. And Krue actually put one off the post with 8 seconds left. Like so, that goes inch of the way. Like we tie it up 5-5, and we take it to OT, and maybe good things happen there. But yeah, our big thing is gonna have to stay disciplined and just stick to our plan, but stay out of the box.
I'm super excited for the Grand Haven game just because I can't stand losing to some of my good buddies. So playing Ice Dogs, there's a lot of kids from Grand Haven that played for the Ice Dogs as well, and it's kind of cool. Got split up. Some of the kids are at West Ottawa, some of the kids are at Grand Haven. It's like, hey, I'm playing against one of my good buddies from up the street, so I can't stand losing to them. So I would love to beat them. So.
Yeah, it'll definitely be pretty cool. I will say I didn't really have like the smartest game wise. I think I definitely got into some of that discipline trouble that game, which definitely cost us. But it'll be cool to get some revenge, hopefully, and play my game. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's getting close to hockey time. It's 4:24. You guys are both going to have to pull a Kyler comment to get on ice by 4:30. 5 minutes. There's so much more we could talk about, but we don't have time. But it was great sitting down with the three of you. Real pleasure to meet all of you. Really, really nice to do. Just remember, everybody, we are West Ottawa. We are community. We are each other. Head out to a hockey game. This tournament will be wrapped up, and this will probably air after that. But there's more hockey coming up, and we wish you guys all the best moving forward. So thanks for taking time with us.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, guys.
If you have enjoyed listening to the 29-1 podcast, be sure to like and subscribe. You can find us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.